separate video all by itself.
Yeah, all
We have like bloopers. We can do bloopers.
All right.
Take 3.
Yeah, take 3.
Yeah, we can do bloopers.
All right, so I'm going to ask you guys to complete a peer review of your introduction and your rising action. This should take like 10 minutes. It's not meant to be something that's super long. Luke, Damien, eyes up front. All right, so let's say I have Lainey be my peer review. I'm going to have to first unsubmit my introduction and rising action because right now I've submitted it and I can't make edits to it. So I'm going to unsubmit it and I'm going to share it with Lainey. Lainey is going to make sure that she looks at each of these 7 bullet points and then she makes a comment on my document commenting over each of these. The purpose of this is that 1, you're holding yourself accountable knowing that you have all of these things that we already discussed, and then 2, somebody else is just double checking it. They don't need to be in this class, they do need to be in one of my classes, so from the freshman class. All right, let's start at the top. MLA header, identify that they have the correct header, date, format, etc. What do I need in my MLA header, Zach?
What do you need in your MLA header?
Name, date, class, teacher.
Cool, but the order is what, Christy?
Name, class, teacher, date.
The actual order is what, Anna?
Name, teacher, class, date.
And the correct date format is what, Jaden?
Month,
Date.
The one up there.
Oh yeah, you know. It's
Oh, we're smart.
All right. So when I look at that, I'm gonna make sure that you have that for your MLA. Lainey's gonna mark it. When I say mark it, I mean she's going to open up my document, and let's say this word format is where I have all my stuff corrected or not correct. She's going to make a comment and say like, yes, she has the MLA format, or no, she doesn't have the MLA format. Okay? So I should see 7 comments in total at the end. You can leave more, but these are the 7 things I'm looking for. The next thing is the title of their story. Where should the title be, Bridget?
Where you would put the title of your paper. Like right under the format. Oh my god.
Yeah. Center
That made sense to
Yeah,
me.
that's.
and right under the date. How do I center it, Trevor?
You press center button. Center line.
Yeah. I hit the center alignment button. Good. Next, identify 1 or more sentences that describe the setting. I don't care if it's the first sentence or middle way through. I just need 1 example of it. Identify 1 sentence that describes the main character. What are the 2 ways that we can describe a character?
Indirect.
Good. So through adjectives or through their actions. And then I need to establish a point of view. When I say establish, I mean like you are looking for them to either say I, or continue that throughout, or they throughout, or you throughout, or whatever. Identify the antagonist. Where is the first place I should see the antagonist? What part? Good. And then identify the introduction and the conflict. When I say this, we should know as we are reading through your rising action what your conflict is specifically going to be. What I mean by that is if your conflict is about a firefighter going into battle and putting out a fire and that's the climax, then throughout the intro and the rising action, I should know that he is going to be like fighting fires, okay? So that it's going to be man versus nature. Here's the other thing. I have what you need for your climax on here. You guys already know that. You know what you need for your climax. If you finish your peer review and you have your reading done and you're like, Mrs. Downing, what can I work on next? You can start your climax. Okay, so can you close your computer for me? Okay, I'm going to talk to you guys about the peer review that is essentially going to take you like 10 minutes. Last week, you should have finished your introduction and your rising action, and you should have turned it in. If you did not, then that's something that you need to be finishing up today, and tomorrow after you finish air testing and you can be back on your computers, you need to make sure that you get your peer review. Most of you guys will finish it today and can resubmit it. So here are the things that I need for your peer review. You are first going to figure out.
What's happening? What is going on? Oh, you
What happened?
Can we get the camera to point over here?
Hey, it's worse when it's worse.
Hey, can we get the camera over here for the record?
This is worse than mine.
This is the class you should post on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. And the only thing you hear for like 20 minutes is me.
That was probably the scariest thing I've ever seen. Have you? Okay. To put that in. His eyes were boring into my soul like that, and it was probably the scariest thing I've ever seen.
He was trying to